We're kicking off the round of 8 here from Las Vegas Motor Speedway off of another strong result at the Charlotte Roval as Kyle Larson found himself eliminated after a crash in Charlotte, and you see the updated standings on your screen as Denny Hamlin, Christopher Bell, William Byron, and Ryan Blaney enter as a top 4 coming into the first race of this round of 8. Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new episode of the NASCAR 25 Career Mode. Hope you're all having a great day. You see on the right side of your screen the specs that we have coming into this weekend: a level 10 body, level 9 chassis, level 10 engine, and a level 8 suspension. This weekend, I actually got the call from Joe Gibbs himself, and he's going to need me actually to fill in for Eric Almirola this weekend in the Xfinity Series. Almirola actually entering the weekend a little bit under the weather, and, well, it needs a substitute driver, so I'm going to get behind the wheel of the number 19 Joe Gibbs Toyota Camry Supra, in the Xfinity Series this weekend here from Las Vegas. We're coming off of a strong stretch of races as we continue to upgrade this number 85 Tricon Garage Toyota, and as well coming into this weekend, fortunately, we have no parts that are worn out, so we've been able to save money. We haven't had to spend a dime coming into this weekend, so if we can come out of today with a top 20 result, which I think we're very well capable of, when you have a car that's around level 9 to level 10 parts, you should be able to pull off a top 20, so I think we're going to be able to do that this weekend, and therefore get a good chunk of prize money for the team, and, you know, give ourselves an even better chance going into, well, next episode's Talladega, which obviously it doesn't matter how good or bad of a car you have there. So we're going to have to, we have a worn part for Talladega that we do have to replace, but I think we're going to replace it with a pretty cheap part. So these next two races right here in Las Vegas today and then Talladega are two really large opportunities for us to really get in a really solid financial spot to go into the final 2 races of the season, to end it strong at Martinsville and Phoenix, and then we're going to get prize money from where we finish in the points, and therefore we'll carry that into next season in 2026, where we'll be in a Chevrolet, and we'll have an alliance with Hendrick Motorsports, and we'll just have a lot stronger cars and better just financial situations going into season 2026. Now, as we end up just outside the top 20 is Kyle Larson, William Byron, your front row. Who could have possibly seen that coming on a mile and a half here from Las Vegas Motor Speedway? Larson, though, out of the playoffs now, unfortunately, so he'll be just racing for bragging rights and try to finish the season strong. Now, though, it's time to go racing on the Xfinity Series side of things, and as we are going to cut straight through to late in the race, we had just under 10 laps to go, and I was struggling in these closing laps. We had actually stayed out on a pit stop sequence after a caution had come out, and we were falling down the field here with a little bit more worn out tires than the rest of the drivers, and I was really struggling with the right front tire being way too hot, well over 300 degrees, and when you're over 300 degrees on that right front, what you see right now, it's in the 340s going into 350s. It's not easy to get the car to hook up, so at this point I was just in survive mode in this number 19, but not doing this car justice, and I knew we were in trouble at this point, kind of in a free fall, and hoping for a caution sooner rather than later to come in and get some Goodyear tires on this thing, some fresh Goodyears, and just push hard to the end, but it wasn't looking very promising as we were coming to 3 to go now. And actually, as we come to 3 to go, Sam Mayers, number 41, goes around, and that brings out the yellow, so we would, oh my goodness, big hit, but we would come into the pits and we would get 4 tires, and this would send us into NASCAR Xfinity Series overtime. And as we would return to the green flag racing, we're back here in 37, so obviously we're just trying to spend these final 2 laps just ripping through the field as fast as possible, and that's going to be much easier said than done. I can confirm as well this weekend, actually coincidentally, I can announce that, well, with NASCAR changing their rules for how many races Cup Series drivers can do in the Xfinity Series and in the Truck Series, I can confirm for 2026 we will be doing 10 races in what will be then the O'Reilly Series, and we will be doing 5 races in the Truck Series. So we're getting back into, now that we've kind of got our first Cup season, taken care of, we're going to jump back into some other series and get, have some fun, basically, in Xfinity and trucks as well. We've only done, this is our only second race in the Xfinity series this season. Trucks we haven't touched, as I just wanted to focus in on being a Cup rookie. So a lot of excitement on the way as we would bring it home in P23. Very disappointing. Expected better, just wasn't the race I was looking for here in this number 19, substituting for Eric Almirola, as Justin Allgaier would hold off Love and Burton, Smith and Creed there in the top 5. As we can now focus in, though, Sunday afternoon, ready to go racing. And I feel like every single race I'm always like, man, I'm excited for this one. But I am excited for this one because first time we came to Las Vegas, the car was super slow, and now we're coming back and we have a way better race car than the first time around, and I am confident that we're going to have a top 20 day at the least, and you never know how things is going to shape out. We might even have a chance to go top 10 if things work out now, as we are ready to go green for 67 laps of racing. Here we go. The round of 8 is underway. 4 drivers will be eliminated in 3 races time. 4 drivers will move on to the Phoenix season finale, and unfortunately, though, what does come with mile and a halves is this, the terrible starts that you get. And interestingly enough, I didn't get it in the Xfinity race, but as you can see, well, we're very much getting it here, and we're already down to 30th position on this opening lap. Not exactly what you want, obviously, but we're going to get this car hooked up and get rolling. And as well, I can confirm that, well, I told you guys about what we have been learning over some recent races in the career mode with tire pressures adjustments, and how I haven't really adjusted the car enough into qualifying and from qualifying into the race. Well, this weekend we have changed our philosophy a little bit, and I've really started working on this car to be, more well prepared for the start of these races. And I've turned the wedge down further, and I've also lowered the tire pressures, and I'm hopeful that that's going to present us a really good start to this race. And obviously the door is open for more adjustments as the race goes on, but the idea is fire off significantly better than we have in some of these races. We've had some races here, where we finished in the top 15, but we fired off and we've run like 30th in the first stage, and then we got the adjustments in the car, and it's an overwhelming upgrade basically in pace. So here we are, though, moving ourselves back into 30th. It took all the way to the 3rd lap to pull it off, and now we're just kind of searching around. Where's the speed in this number 85 here? And I felt like, honestly, what's really promising about this car, and I know we're only, passing our teammate here, Martin Truex Jr., making one of his few starts here on a part-time limited schedule this season. But, I mean, I was feeling confidence because I could go up to the outside, I could make speed, I could go down to the bottom and make some speed as well. More speed was coming from the middle to the higher lanes, so I knew if we were going to want to make the bottom work a little bit better, we're going to have to continue to work on this car a little bit. But overall, I was pretty happy with wherever I put this car right now, and here we are ripping that top lane right against the boards, just about on the exit of turn 4, getting alongside the number 3 American Ethanol Chevrolet there for RCR's Austin Dillon. We'll pass him down this front straightaway and continue working our way forward. 13 laps to go here in stage 1 at this point. We cannot make it to the end of the stage. You can go about 15 to 16 laps, the player can, on field. We know the AI will suddenly find a way to turn that into 20 laps somehow, and I'm really hoping that doesn't happen because, well, the stage is only 20 laps.
Clear outside.
We clear the 71 of McDowell and continue going forward here behind Ty Gibbs and the 43 of Eric Jones. Now, Ty Gibbs certainly been in the news recently in real life, but we'll avoid that conversation for now as we are going to continue working to pass at number 54. He's had a very up and down season now, and out of turn 2 couldn't quite get alongside Jones. He slides back up in front of us now, and Gibbs is still alongside. I am going to rip the top here while Allmendinger is going to take that top, so we'll go down, make it 3 wide in the middle here on the exit of turn 4 with Allmendinger and Gibbs. Now, great racing here in Las Vegas in this opening stage, and eventually we get down to the inside of the 54 here with 10 to go in stage number 1, and you got SVG up there alongside the number 77 of Carson Hocevar as we head down into turn number 3. Kyle Larson continues to lead in these opening laps of racing here from Las Vegas now, as we're going to be right alongside Gibbs on the exit of turn 4 down this front straightaway, and couldn't quite clear him yet. We would continue to fight side by side here, and we're cutting to lap 13, and we're still kind of, scrapping this one out a little bit here. So Ty Gibbs not interested in making things easy, to say the least. Now, as we continue on into turn 1, can we slide up in front of him? No, Gibbs is going to keep this fight going. So honestly, I'm okay with this. Some good fights here with the AI, but we do clear him on the exit of turn 4, lap 13 coming to 14. So now we settle in to 22nd, and we are going to have to pit within the next couple of laps here. The fuel light just comes on, so we're going to stretch this out another 2 laps. I'm going to pit at the last moment possible before we run out of fuel. Now, as AJ Allmendinger, actually, as I move up the racetrack, he comes back to the inside now, but both him and myself run down. Carson Hocevar behind us, crash. Gibbs is going around. That is perfect. Caution's going to fly, and that is going to save us from having to pit under green, and everybody is going to come into the pits. The one negative here is the fact that, well, we're going to have a late stage restart. I think it's only going to be 2 laps, but that's not the negative. The negative is the fact that we're probably not going to be able to go, very fast on this restart. So we are going to come in, and I start making some tire pressure adjustments here. 17.5 on the lefts, and going down to 30.0 on the right side tires. Chase Briscoe loses 14 positions from 6th to 20th. That's 5 stage points at least. He just gave up in the round of 8. Briscoe just picked up his first win in that last round of that round of 12 for this season with Joe Gibbs Racing, and now he's going to give up at least 5 points right here. Because of that, he's not even going to be able to get close, I wouldn't think, to the top 10 here now as we head down towards this exit of turn 2 and down the back straightaway. And, well, you can see the damage again. We just don't have any speed on these restarts again now, and Kyle Larson continues to lead. You got Hamlin up there, who, of course, is now the top guy that we expect to become champion this season, considering the fact that Kyle Larson's now out of the playoffs after the disastrous, of course, start in the round of 12, and then it ended in just as disastrous fashion, unfortunately. It really is such a disappointing ending to the season for Kyle Larson, to say the least. But we continue on racing side by side here with Noah Gragson on the run into turn number 3, and Kyle Larson's going to lead over Denny Hamlin through 3 and out of turn 4. It's going to be a stage win for Kyle Larson, and we are going to end up in 25th. Now, as 10th place crosses the line, brings out the caution. We'll be staying out for this, sequence here of going into the next restart, because no one's going to bother pitting after 2 laps. But obviously the negative is, again, we're going to lose more track position here because we were only green for 2 laps. We did not have enough time to make up what we lost on that restart. Chase Briscoe, he ended up 23rd. After stage 1 had come to a close now, and as we return to racing here from Las Vegas, stage 2 is underway. We've got 1 additional lap of racing here, 21 laps in stage 2. So we will again need to pit if we don't have a caution at a good time, like when Ty Gibbs brought out the yellow, for example. So perfect world, we get a caution on like lap 6 or 7, and then we can come in and we'll be able to make it to the end. But look at the outside just pouring by me. Gilliland, Ware, Truex, Ty Gibbs to my outside, and that number 54 as well. But now, I mean, you start to pick that speed back up and get more even with the AI on the kind of middle of 3 and exit of turn 4, and we'll continue to try and fight back here now in 29th. I am hopeful we get some green flag racing, all throughout stage 2, and honestly throughout stage 3 as well. I am a little bit worried about what we could see, but we had 1 caution for cause in stage 1. It was right there towards the end that forced that restart, as we're going to go 3 wide middle here between the 51 and the 4. Bit of contact there. Felt like the 51 kind of came down. I might have came up a little bit now, but we'll get alongside teammate Truex on the exit of turn 4 down this front straightaway, and we are already making some good headway in as well. Keep in mind, we did lower our tire pressures on that pit stop, so I felt like that as well was making a bit of a difference on this takeoff speed here in this number 85. You got Daniel Suarez there going down to the middle lane. That's what I want to see. But on the exit of turn 4, you can see where I'm kind of becoming a bit more patient behind the wheel. I've learned a lot of lessons this season as a Cup Series rookie. A lot of the time, we have been known for making some late moves to the outside of somebody on the exit of the corner, and then it either leads to an accident, or at the bare minimum, we get forced into the outside wall and we get damage to the right front, right side of our car. So we have definitely started to get acclimated with this Cup Series field a little bit more, and when I'm ripping the top and I got a big run on somebody, I'm not forcing it to the outside at the last second on the exit anymore. I'll be a little bit patient. I'll lift off the throttle and just settle in behind them and wait till the next corner to go for that move instead, or at least, make sure I get it fully alongside them in the middle of the corner, and if I do that, then I'll keep my nose there. So I feel like we have made a lot of progression here in the Cup car, and I think going into Season 2 for 2026, I think it's going to make a big difference, especially now that we know we're going to have fast race cars, and we're going to be racing for top 10s and wins next season, and it's going to be a completely different dynamic, and we won't have time to learn anymore because we're going to have to be hustling, and of course with the new chase format on the way as well, that's going to be an entire new element to the season as well, and we're going to have to limit the mistakes that we make and continue to be consistent all season long. How about this racing, by the way, to kick off the early laps here of Stage 2? Now, fantastic multi-groove racing as we go to the inside of SVG, and we'll pass Van Gisbergen and put him down to 24th now, and I had to be really patient right there. I felt like we could have been easily top 20 by now, but just trying to make sure we stay out of trouble, we've still got ourselves here in the 23rd position. And as we exit turn 4, we were surrounded by some RFK drivers. Keselowski on my right, Ryan Preece on my left, McDowell right here in the Spire number 71 just off my nose on the left front. Into turn 1 we go. We're still 3 wide middle. Keselowski not wanting to lift, and he's able to keep it alongside us as we exit turn 2. Now we'll clear him so we can jump up, and I'm not going to help Carson Hocevar, of course, so we're going to jump up behind Cindric. But having to be patient, I couldn't quite get alongside him on the exit of turn 4, so I would lift, but then out of turn 2, here we are, 3 wide to the outside, 3 wide in front of us, bit of contact there with the discount tire Ford Mustang for Penske Racing. Penske as a team not having a great day so far, as now we're right behind Christopher Bell, gonna give him a nice little shot. Look at this racing, we're 4 wide, I think, just about down this front straightaway. We are Logano, host of our Priest as well. It just settles out to maybe 3 wide into turn number 1. We're stuck behind the 20, and now they're 4 wide, the 20, the 22, the 77, and the 60. I'm going to try and go down to the inside. Got loose on the exit there. I was willing to force it 5 wide, but it doesn't quite work. We're still 4 wide. Nonetheless, into turn 3, incredible racing here from Las Vegas in the second stage, and I tell you what, man, this is where this game is just so much fun. Sometimes on these mile and a halves, I love this so much, and now we come to lap 12, and you see we've got an estimated amount of fuel at 1 lap, so we do need to pit this lap right here, and fortunately for me, Keselowski, who's right behind me, is pitting as well. He checks up. We'll get down to the 55 mile per hour, 50 mile per hour speed limit. Of course, we're not going to exactly hit that, and we'll get the 4 tires on, and we're going to come out actually pretty well identical to where we came in against like a Keselowski here, as he's going to be a few car lengths behind. So a good pit stop, and we've got well below 10 laps to go here in stage number 2, and now Kyle Larson and a bunch of others are pitting, but through 3 and 4, Keselowski is able to carry so much more speed than myself, and he's quite simply going to do this. He's just going to rip around the top, and I mean, what am I even supposed to do right there? So we will unfortunately draw back a little bit now and end up here in 35th, but as you can see, we're going to start passing a bunch of cars in as well. We might be able to undercut some of the guys that we were racing around. There you see the 2, the 21, Cindric and Barry, and we're just going to now move up the racetrack because that 21 is to our inside here now as we exit turn 4. Actually caught the wall. That's going to hurt. Unfortunately, did not want that to happen. We will lose out to that 21, but as after all was said and done, I mean, we're undercutting the 23 of Bubba Wallace. We're up here with Kyle Busch, Allmendinger as well, and after everyone had made their pit stop, Chase Briscoe was leading, and we were now 13th, undercutting multiple cars, and as well to the inside of Josh Berry. I mean, we're not the only one that did the undercut successfully. I mean, look at Keselowski right here with us, but what a pass to the inside. We clear him for P11, and unfortunately, though, it wasn't quite over. We're going to kind of go back and forth right here now as Keselowski is back to my inside, and I catch the wall again on the exit of turn 4. So coming up on these closing few laps of the stage now, here comes the momentum from the 2 of Cindric to my inside. Kyle Larson has returned to the lead of this race as we now approach the final lap here now, and looking to the inside of the number 2 of Cindric there, and actually we're going to get alongside Wallace as well. We're going to be racing for 12th to end the stage here. Now Kyle Larson in control. That number 5 is super fast in that Zach Brown HendrickCars.com Chevrolet this weekend. Now I wish we were closer to him just so we could see that beautiful paint scheme, because it does look absolutely phenomenal. But regardless, as we head down this back straightaway here with Bubba Wallace, he's just got that momentum off the corner. Kyle Larson down the front straightaway. He is going to sweep the first 2 stages, and good luck beating him for the win here in Las Vegas now, as we're going to come home here in P13. Couldn't quite get the Columbia number 23 there, so we'll end up 13th in this second stage. But man, we are looking pretty sharp here come the end of stage 2, leading us into a very promising stage 3. We'll come in, we'll get our 4 Goodyear tires, we'll get some feel in as well, and was looking at more adjustments. I went down to 15.0 and 25.0 on the tire pressures there for the lefts and rights, and we'll get ready for the third and final stage. I was not expecting this. It's fully dark here in Vegas. This race does not end at nighttime in real life, so I don't know why that's happening. But regardless, we take the green flag, and one driver I am keeping an eye on to kick off this final stage is the number 12 of Ryan Blaney. Blaney, who is in the round of 8, the only Penske driver remaining in the playoffs right now, and it's not been a good race for him. He was outside of the top 15 here in stage 2. It's not been a great race for Penske. Another round of 8 driver that struggled is Christopher Bell. He was even further behind the 12 of Ryan Blaney, for example, now, as we have, well, as expected, the absolutely horrific start. But now, as we exit turn 4, heading down this front straightaway, we'll at least get back up to speed, and we can start to focus in on the remainder of this race. And I am confident, as we're getting swarmed right there by the 60 and the 21 as well, but I am confident we are going to have an opportunity here to get at least top 15 result. I don't know, beyond top 15, it's going to be difficult, but I mean, we have seen, in recent races, looking back at Kansas, where suddenly, a caution or late race pit stops, and we see a difference in strategy between me and other drivers, and all of a sudden, in that race, we had a chance to win the race. I mean, we were flying through the field, so that type of, situation could present itself here again today, or tonight, I guess I should say, here in Las Vegas, but we'll have to wait and see. It's been a pretty calm race, only one caution for cause so far here. Now as we come to lap 44, and we're actually kind of struggling with the handling, got a little bit loose there as we're right on the back of the 60. You heard me right there lift. If that was, 10 to 15 races ago, I would have stayed in the throttle, would have peaked to the right rear of the 60 at the last second, and he probably would have put me in the wall, and we might have crashed together. So you can tell we've come so far from where we were earlier in the season as a rookie now, and I mean, very proud of the progress we're making, and it's showing on the leaderboard, it's showing in the point standings as we continue to gain positions in the points as well. And yeah, it's been a phenomenal turnaround, and I mean, it all comes alongside as well the improvements that we've made with this number 85 team as well. So it's not just me, it's also the team getting better parts for the car as well, and I am really looking forward to that Chevrolet partnership going into season 2. We clear though the 60, and now we can race with Eric Jones, having a good run for Legacy Motor Club, your Atlanta winner from the second race of the season, all the way back there in February now, as we're now back up to the outside, trying to carry some momentum off the corner. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. This time, unfortunately, it allowed the 60 back to my inside here now, but some great back and forth racing, and I really love this type of racing here in NASCAR 25. Reddick goes around in turn 1, and that's going to bring out the yellow. Caution flies, and a round of 8 driver with some trouble here in the final stage. Everyone's going to stay out because we're not quite in the fuel window yet. Rennick, who just crashed, is going to drive away from me on this restart. Just watch here now as we get ready to go back racing. We restart P17. This is what we don't want to see. We do not want to see cautions, especially in the final stage, because no matter what, by default, we're just going to lose ground. Actually, the 45 gets off to a bit of a slow restart, and he's pretty well identical with my speed there until we hit turn 1. He's going to drive away, so it's like our car restarts on the mile and a half, like it has damage for whatever reason. It just makes no sense. I vented about this before. I cannot believe that they have not bothered to fix this in this game. Yeah, I mean, NASCAR 26, there will be no excuses for this not being fixed, but nonetheless, we just gotta keep pushing through and deal with it. Unfortunately, quietly. That's just what you got to do. And we are back here now down to 24th position. We have been outrunning the sponsor goal for the majority of this race, and even after a bad restart again, we will continue to do that. I think we got more trouble here. Now down the back straightaway, caution's out again. Lap and a half after the restart now, and someone's around. It's Allmendinger. He collects a 2 of Cindric, who goes spinning. Caution's out again, but this time we are in the fuel window, and everyone's going to come into the pits, including myself. And the crew chief recommends right side tires and fuel. So we are going to do a can of fuel and take the 2 right side tires and no adjustments to the car. And to my surprise, we lose 6 spots. And what does that tell you? That tells you that everybody else decided to take no tires. So they go against what our crew chief recommended. And as we go back green, my concern was that the AI were going to take 4 tires, and I was going to leapfrog well up in front, but it's the complete opposite. They took no tires. So all of a sudden, we talked about what happened in Kansas. We've got an advantage on our side, and outside of a slow restart, that puts us down to 32nd. We are about to start absolutely ripping through this field. So as we approach lap 57, it's going to be 11 laps to go, and you can already see the difference here on the 2 tires. Imagine if we took 4. We would have been absolutely flying, but on 2 tires, you know, we've got some track position to make up, and I am very, very confident now that we might even be able to end up in the top 10. We have not had a top 10 car today, obviously. We've had like a 15th to like 18th place car, but a top 10 is a very real concept now because of the tire advantage that we have weaseled ourselves into here. And I mean, we're not wasting any time here. We're going to go 3 wide with Suarez there, down the back straightaway, Todd Gilliland, and look behind us now, Ryan Blaney, who's been struggling all race, has gotten to the inside, and he's starting to follow me through. Another driver that struggled a lot was the 20 of Christopher Bell. He's actually got himself up towards the top 10 late in this race, but we've already broken into the top 20 here with 8 laps to go. Now going to the inside of the 21, we're going to get aggressive, 3 wide to the inside of the 2 of Cindric. Kyle Busch, he's going to, well, I thought he was going to shut the door. Oh, it's close. He was indecisive, but so was I. As we fill the hole there on the exit of turn 4, we'll pass him and continue to go forward here now as we come to lap 61, hitting 62. Larson continues to lead now, 3 wide through the middle between Bowman and Priest on the run into turn 1. Busher there in P12. He's all the way on the outside now, and I'm going to kind of just fade up the track a little bit there to kind of shut the door on him. Of course, no love lost there between myself and that number 17 as we are continuing to pass the likes of Elliott, 2 round of 8 drivers outside of the top 10. And as we continue to 5 laps to go here in Vegas, we've broken into the top 10 after passing the 23 and now to P9, and we're continuing to go forward now. We got Keselowski just on our nose here now as we're going to now move up the racetrack a little bit here into turn number 3. As the round goes, who is at the 19? It's Briscoe who goes around from 4th. Caution's going to fly. Oh boy, it's going to be NASCAR overtime. That's not what we needed, because now we know we're going to fall down the order and then have to gain it back. We were probably going to have a chance for probably 6th position maybe if that didn't happen, but now NASCAR overtime. Chase Briscoe is very lucky that he doesn't drop down the order because of a crash here in this game. So now, as we get ready to go back green, NASCAR overtime, 2 laps to go. Kyle Larson, William Byron lead the field back to green. Larson no longer in the playoffs to number 24, trying to punch his ticket into the final 4, but don't rule out the 11 of Hamlin as well. Even Briscoe, who just wrecked, and you see the slow start we get. Actually, I don't think it's going to be the end of the world right here, as we should be able to rip through 3 and 4, but through goes the 23, the 17, the 12. I still think we could get a top 10 just because of the tire advantage that we have, but we dropped to 13th here on this restart. Larson covers off Hamlin. You can see Hamlin trying to look there on the exit of turn 4. 1 lap to go here from Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Who gets back to the line first in NASCAR overtime? Leaning right on the back bumper there of the number 16 Celsius Chevrolet. Allmendinger goes low. I shoot the middle up the racetrack. We're going to split between him and the 17 of Busher on the exit of turn 2. Larson continues to lead. Hamlin, the highest playoff driver. We clear the 17. Can we get get the 23 as we roll through 3 and 4. Christopher Bell gonna be right on my nose. We're gonna have to lift on the exit of turn 4. Top 10's not quite gonna happen. Kyle Larson wins after elimination in Vegas. We cross the line for P11, and still not a top 10, but an absolutely fantastic race. Nonetheless, you see your finishing order, and wow, Denny Hamlin, Chase Briscoe, William Byron, your best final round of 8 playoff finishing drivers, as you see the rest of the order. And we'll take a look at the points to end today's episode. What a race here in Las Vegas. I love this track. I love mile and a half racing in next gen, and it's great in the game too. Reddick, Elliott, Busher, Blaney, all below the cut line going into, well, Talladega. The points don't matter until Talladega's taken care of. Briscoe's 4 points ahead of Blaney, and then Bell, Byron, Hamlin, they're all in a very comfortable spot. But like I just said, Talladega, next episode, anything can and probably will happen and shuffle up the points completely. Nobody's safe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.
I'm stuck in my head, need an exit.